Good morning, everybody. Apparently, I'm trying to get hair like Andy Edwards. Today, we're going to discuss one of my favorite topics. These are books that talk about prog rock. So let's get into it. First book I want to talk about is this one, Prog Rock FAQ. So this book is written by a guy named Will Romano, and he's the author of another book I'm going to discuss. But this one is all that's left to know about rock's most progressive music. So I really like this book, and I think that this has to be one of the most accessible dives into the genre. So instead of like a chronological history, he organizes the book into chapters. It tackles specific movements, the studio innovations, subgenres, debates even, interviews. So I appreciate how he balances the big six, Pink Floyd, Yes, Genesis, King Crimson, ELP, and Jethro Tull. But he has attention to some of the smaller acts in Europe or the Canterbury scene, and even modern neo-prog bands. His writing is very conversational, and like I said, it's packed with interviews, technical details that appeal to musicians. I consider it a great reference book that I can open to any page and find some sort of well-researched history. So the next one I want to discuss, this is the first book I ever had, prog rock, and it is the Billboard Guide of Progressive Music by Bradley Smith. So when I need a comprehensive field guide, to tracking down progressive vinyl or CDs, then I take a look at this book. I look at Bradley Smith's Billboard Guide to Progressive Music. So it was published in 1997, and it sort of functions as an alphabetical dictionary. It covers hundreds of bands, ranging from mainstream prog bands to krautrock, RIO, Italian symphonic acts. Smith's reviews are direct and critical, and he offers a clear ratings and breakdowns for individual discographies. It lacks a narrative storytelling, but it doesn't matter about that to me. This is a sheer reference book, and the scope of it makes it a useful resource for collectors. You're looking to venture beyond standard radio prog. The only drawback, not every album by a band is mentioned. He basically takes what he considers to be essential albums from the bands, and he's got these different sort of appendices. The Canon 100 Classic Progressive Recordings, 5 Progressive Music Styles, Top 30 Space Music Recording, things like that. And he's even got a mail order guide in here. It's a very unique book from the 90s. But I love this book. I go back and read this book a lot. I love the way he reviews everything too. The next book is going to be Mountains Come Out of the Sky. And this is again by Will Romano. Will Romano, where he talked about the FAQ. So, whereas that book focuses more on trivia and those sort of references and interviews and stuff, Mountain Comes Out of the Sky is like a visual history of progressive rock. And it combines narrative histories of key bands and photography, album cover artwork, archival material. I consider this a great coffee table book on the genre, but it's much deeper than a coffee table book as well. Romano conducts interviews with key figures. He's discussing synthesizer setups, time signatures, stage design, studio engineering. And what I like most is how he treats the visual art of prog as inseparable from the music itself. And finally, this is the latest book that I picked up, A New Day Yesterday. Not today, A New Day Yesterday by Mike Barnes. So Mike Barnes, I think, delivers what I view as one of the most grounded histories of British progressive rock. So he don't just chronicle who played a keyboard on what album. You know, he explores why Prog emerged when it did. You know, connecting the British, the music to the British education, the post-war movements, the art schools, the classic traditions, and eventually the punk backlash. You know, his writing is articulate. He offers a sharp analysis of the albums, gives weight to the UK's experimental scene. So I conclude that, you know, if you want a book that treats progressive rock with a real cultural weight, is a great history book for Prog. A New Day Yesterday is a standout. Go check it out. So those are the books that I like. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up, subscribe, like, share. And until next time, God bless, and you guys take care.